Welcome to Hometown Teams, where we build an NFL team's roster using only local players. This will be the final episode with Madden 18 hot around the corner. It's time to finish the last series of the Madden 17 year. Today we're looking at Florida, which could fill half the NFL on its own. Alright, so not quite, but talent runs deep in this state. And we start at left tackle with Laramie Tunsil, who was born in Harvey, Louisiana, but he did go to high school in Florida and went to college at Ole Miss. A left guard, we've got Chaz Green out of Tampa, went to college at Florida, so in-state. And a backup for the Cowboys is probably as good as some team starters. And at center we have Brandon Linder out of Southwest Ranchers, went to college at Miami, and plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars, therefore of course making him an alpha hometown hero. Then at right guard we've got Josh Sitton out of Jacksonville, went to college in-state at Central Florida. And then our right tackle Marcus Gilbert out of Fort Lauderdale, went to college at Florida in-state as well. Now tight end, we didn't have too many great choices. We go with Trey Burton here out of Venice, went to college at Florida. And then we move on to the wide receivers and start strong with Antonio Brown out of Miami, went out of state to go play at Central Michigan. Then we have T.Y. Hilton, also out of Miami, just like Antonio Brown, went to Florida International, staying in state. And then in the slot, we've got Doug Baldwin out of Gulf Breeze, went to college out of state at Stanford. And, you know, we could have had either Hilton or Antonio Brown or Doug Baldwin all in the slot. I just thought maybe we keep the two guys with a little bit more speed on the outsides. And then our running back is Devontae Freeman out of Bexley, Georgia, but he went to high school in Florida, went to college at Florida State. And then the fullback on this team is his friend from a season ago, but on a new team now, Patrick DeMarco out of Altamonte Springs, went to college at South Carolina. And then our quarterback is Matthew Stafford, born in Tampa, went to high school in Texas, and then went to college in Georgia. And that completes this offense, and it's a good offense. It's got a strong offensive line. We've got incredible receivers, a quarterback that can feed those receivers, and a nice running game as well. We'll take that. So on to the defense, and we start with HaHa Clinton Dix out of Orlando, went to college at Alabama. At strong safety, we have Keanu Neal out of Webster, stayed in state to go to college at Florida. And then our first outside linebacker is Lavonte David out of Miami, went to college at Nebraska, and therefore cannot be an alpha hometown hero. At the middle linebacker spot, we have Ryan Shazier out of Lauderdale Lakes, went to college at Ohio State. And then our final linebacker is Pernell McPhee out of Orlando, went to college at Mississippi State. Moving on to the defensive line with Olivier Vernon out of Miami, went to college at Miami, and then went to go and play for the Miami Dolphins. That's probably as close as we have gotten to an alpha hometown hero, staying in the same city the entire time, but of course now plays for the New York Giants. Then on the other side, we have Khalil Mack out of Fort Pierce, went to college at Buffalo. And the first of two defensive tackles, first time in a while we've got a 4-3 scheme, will be Timmy Jernigan out of Lake City, went to college at Florida State. And then we have Geno Atkins out of Pembroke Pines, went to college at Georgia. Moving on to the cornerbacks, and we start with Patrick Peterson out of Pompano Beach, went to college at LSU. Then we have Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie out of Bradenton, went to college at Tennessee State. And then in the nickel position, and really just here because I figure he would probably best fit this position out of all three of these guys, Janoris Jenkins out of Pahokee, went to college at North Alabama. And that completes the first team we have built with Madden 18 Ultimate Team players. Now, of course, you can't quite compare these teams in terms of their value on Ultimate Team to the other ones because it's on a different game, but considering the fact these are all the core versions of these players, most of them anyway, you know, a couple of power-up things. But if you look at this, the fact we were able to put together an almost entirely elite team of the first string of, you know, available players on Madden 18 just shows you how good players out of Florida are, or at least how good they are in the eyes of people who create video games.